Good morning, and you are watching the Camera64 podcast. And I am your host, Alfonso Chavez. And as always, we are coming to you from sunny San Antonio, Texas, home of the Alamo and the Spurs. None other, right? None other than the Spurs. So today, guys, I am simply making this video. I have a customer who is making a special request on some senior pictures that we recently shot. So I wanted to kind of show you what that process is, what program that we're using, and kind of give you an idea of how I get those kind of special requests done. In this particular case, they want a book background to match, not exactly, but kind of match similar pictures that she has of other family members who have graduated in the past, and for her mother, she wants to add in another another photo with books behind them. It's kind of like a small collection that she's acquired over the years from all the graduates from the family. So I'm going to try and oblige her by doing so. So she did send me over the picture because we have already shot these pictures. She did send me over the picture that she is interested in having converted into this picture. So basically we're going to go ahead and open our Photoshop here, and we're going to bring that picture in and take a look at it. So when we shot this, I always shoot all my portraits on location, as many of you know. These in particular were shot at the Pearl, and the Pearl has got tons of great backgrounds to use. And there's one that's actually right in front of the culinary area, entrance to the church. And as you can see here, I've already got to where I've done one picture, but she did in fact like this picture, but she wants me to change it out for a different picture. She likes the picture, but her mom wanted a different pose, so that's what we're gonna be working on today. So let's go ahead and bring that picture in. We're just gonna bring her per file here. So if you're a big heavy Photoshop user, don't criticize me because I'm not a huge Photoshop guy. I will do what I need to do in this program, and I do know a lot of it, but I'm not somebody that spends a whole lot of time in the program. So if you see me doing something wrong, guys, don't blow me up. So the second one, so I'm just going to browse through her folder here, and it was the first set that we did. She wants the second pose, which would be this one right here. So we're going to open this one here in Photoshop. And the great thing about Photoshop, there's a lot of things that I used to do in this program that used to take forever. But now that the program's evolved a lot over the past 2 years, there's a lot of stuff you can do and do really quickly. So essentially what we need to do is we need to cut her out of this photo here and change out the backdrop is basically what we're going to do. We're going to put a bookcase back there, and I think it'll look really nice with this picture. But you can see this background right here is shot in front of that culinary school. It's right at the entrance door. It's got that really nice marble look to it, and it looks fantastic. As you can tell, this is a one light setup. I tried to do a dramatic shot, but they didn't like it, and it's not for everybody. So we went with this shot. This is just a single speed light with a 24-inch softbox, and you pulled her off of the background, so we get a little light, and you can control how much light is back there simply by moving her further away from it. But this particular style worked for her. She did like this, so we went ahead and did it here. So like I said, I don't know the names of all these tools, but you can just kind of follow along. I think this is the Lasso 2. Yeah, I'm right, the Lasso 2. And then actually I take that back. We're going to use the quick selection, and we're going to use our select subject and let the computer do its own cutout. And amazingly, it's done a pretty good job, pretty good. So we got a little bit of hair that didn't get into the selection here, and so we have these little plus, which basically allows us to add more to our selection. So I'm just using the bracket keys to make this brush a little bit bigger, and we're just going to kind of go over this a little bit. And one thing to keep in mind when you're doing this, guys, it's not going to be perfect. You'll hear me talk about perfection in photography. It doesn't exist, guys. It does not exist. No matter how hard you try and do this, it is not ever going to be perfect. So if you keep that in mind, you'll be all right. But it's when you try and achieve perfection, that's when you run into problems here. So there's some flyouts here, but I'm not going to worry about it. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to pull this back a little bit. Okay. So then I'm going to go to my select and mask. And then here, as you can see, the areas around her hair, in some areas are kind of jaded and it just looks unnatural. So, and even on some of her too, you can see those edges kind of just wishy-washy. So what I like to do is go over those with a really nice fine brush. Yeah, so for right now I'm gonna leave that alone. I am gonna add a little bit of feathering in here. And I'm gonna also shift my edge too a little bit. And you can play with it and decide what you want to do with it. Just kind of pull back. You don't want to go too far because then it'll look kind of weird. We're trying to stay away from weird. And like I said before, see how I don't know the names of everything, but hey, it's what I do. So we're gonna hit OK on that. And then we're gonna come down here, we're gonna add the mask layer on there. Okay. So now that we have the mask layer, it's not simple from here, but it kind of is simple. I'm not gonna lie to you. But basically you have your picture, which is right here. And then you also have your mask layer right here, and you're gonna see the area in black, and then you have the area in white. Obviously the area in white is what we see, and the area in black is what is being blocked out here. So we're gonna come over to our paintbrush, and we're not painting with a color, but we're actually painting onto the mask itself, right? So if you want to add something into the picture, you obviously would paint with white, and if you want to subtract something from the picture, you would go and use the black. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my brush really soft around the edges, make it soft, which is, I'm going to say around the 34 will work. And we're also going to make this brush just a little bit bigger, about like that. I think that'll work. And the reason we want a soft brush is because we don't want a hard edge on this, and also it allows you to blend a little bit easier. You can blend the edges a lot easier. So I'm just going to go over these edges, and you can go either way you want to go. In my particular, I'm going to go ahead and choose the white. So we're going to come over here. We're just going to, you have our black, you're always going to have your black and white selected here. So just tap on this, reverse it, and then you're just going to basically just go over these edges here and just kind of add into your, so you're adding into your selection here. Nothing fancy, guys. You see, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time. Even the edges that look good, I'm not going to touch. They look good. And then where it's super obvious or kind of is noticeable, you want to go over those edges, which is all I'm doing right here. Just like so. Just follow that edge around. You can see how it's kind of jagged here. So you want to get these out. And because the brush is soft, you'll see it kind of fades in, and that's the whole idea. That's the reason we don't use a hard brush here. Same thing here, looks good. It looks kind of jagged right in here. Just gonna get rid of some of that jaggedness. That's it. That's all we're doing. Nothing fancy. So this was a great shoot, by the way. We shot this at night, and I'm always excited about shooting pictures at night. because it allows you to get a style that's a little bit different from everybody else. And there's a lot of photographers who don't like to shoot at night because it is, I'm not going to say difficult, but it takes some skill, some stuff that you got to learn. I mean, not necessarily skill, but it takes things that you got to learn. So it kind of gives us a little bit, gives you a little separation, you know, by shooting at night. These were shot at night, by the way. All these right here were shot at night. That was not my intention, but what happened is I forgot that now that we're getting into winter, our sun is going down a lot faster. So I ended up calling her back to get a couple more shots. But that looks good. And the great thing about these kinds, by masking it like this, is that if I were to make a mistake here, I could just go back and go over this again. No problem. See, so I'm gonna push this up a little bit. That looks good. Again, her hair, we're just gonna smooth out this edge. And you can tell right here, see right here. So I'm just gonna pull back on that a little bit. And the way we do that is we go back and you just flip these right here, boom, and then we can take it off. It's like that. It's not gonna be perfect, guys. Not gonna be perfect. Again, we're gonna flip back. Okay, it's looking good. Yeah, she had a beautiful smile, absolutely beautiful smile. And there we go. See, that's her cutout, and that looks fantastic. So now what I'm gonna do, now that we have our cutout, is I'm gonna bring in the background. But before I do, I'm gonna go ahead and set it up by adding a background above and then just pulling it below. So let's do that, which is right here. This is the new, add a new layer. And the great thing about Photoshop too is if you're ever not sure, you can always just hover over a tool and it'll tell you. See, like right here it says create a new layer. That's exactly what we want to do. So we can just click on that. It brings in an unnamed layer, and you can rename this if you want just by double clicking on it and then just labeling it background. Just like that. Okay, so now I've got an established background, and I'm going to go back to my file, and this particular folder, I mean this particular picture that I'm using, I pulled off the web. I didn't take the picture. Anytime I need pictures, I usually pay for them because I'm a photographer and I understand that other people are trying to make money. So if they're making a picture available to me that I can use, and I'm going to make a little bit of money off of it too, I don't mind sharing it. So I'm going to go to downloads, which is where it's at. And I bought this set of pictures right here. And it was very inexpensive. Gosh, I'm trying to remember where I got it from because I use so many different places. If I can't find that one, I'll go to other ones. But basically just do an online search, stock photos. And there's some expensive ones, so stay away from those. Yeah, there's some that are just ridiculous. Like these 4 pictures probably would have cost $100 or $200. That's just crazy. This particular set of 4, it's the same kind of scene, just shot 4 different ways. $10. I can live with that. You know, I'll pay $10 all day long. So I think it was this one that we used. So we're gonna open that, boom, and then we're simply gonna go back to our selection. Oops, didn't want to do that. We're gonna grab our picture from here and just pull it up to here. Nope, not that one. That one right there. And then just drop it there. We're just going to pull it down there just like that. So now that we have it in the right position, and actually I didn't have to do the background layer. Like I said, sometimes I mess up. But basically, now I have a third layer, and I just pull that layer down to the bottom. Once I do that, then I can back out of it so I can see, and this blue area right here is marking off the picture that's behind it. So whatever lands on that picture is what you get. So then you can adjust this, you can make it bigger if you need to, you can make it smaller if you need to. And this is the reason why you want to pay, because if you just pull it off the web, chances are this picture would be tiny, probably 300 by 300 or 600 by 600, which is okay for the web. But if you're going to actually do a printed picture, no way, no está good. It's not good. So yeah, so now we got that in place, and then we're going to kind of decide where it looks the best. I think the books coming all the way to the top looks the best, and then we've got different color books too, which is great on this picture. So I got the gray, dark gray and brown on this side, and I've got kind of the red books, but I think the gray books would work the best actually. Just like that. Voila, we got a picture. Let's zoom into that, take a look. And now that she is on that bookcase background, now we can take a second look. And usually if on the edges, you'll be able to see if there's something like a color is not just quite right. And you can see right in here, you can kind of see the background of the other picture. So here is where we can make another adjustment to that layer, and we can bring it in just a little bit. And again, we're going to be eliminating, so black, if always look back, so we're going to switch this again back to our black brush. We're going to go to our brush, oops, wrong one, brush, and then we're just going to go over this little area right in here, anywhere that looks a little bit brighter than the rest of the picture. Just like so. So don't get confused, because we're zoomed into this picture quite a bit, and so it looks kind of awkward sometimes when you're looking at a picture really up close like this. So it might not look right when you're actually doing it. And again, I'm going to hit the bracket key to lower this and go into this a little bit more. So yeah, you're going to look at it sometimes and be like, wow, it looks horrible when you're up that close on it. But that's okay, because remember, you're looking at it basically through a microscope, essentially, is what it comes out to. If you're looking at a picture this close when you're holding it in your hands, you shouldn't be. Don't do it. No way, no. Okay. But there we go. And then we're going to continue on. We still got some in this area here. I'm going to make my brush a little bit larger. I'm going to hit my bracket keys again on my keyboard and just kind of go over this. Again, all we're doing is taking out these little super bright areas here. Just like that. That looks good. Okay, so now that we have this, and you're gonna notice it's never gonna match. The background color and your foreground color are not gonna match, because they're shot at two totally different areas, totally different lighting, totally different ambient light. Sorry about that. You got totally different ambient light, and actually she's pretty close. I'm not gonna lie, she's pretty close. If I were to deliver this to the customer, they probably would not catch on at all that the color's not right. But I work from a colored accurate monitor from Acer, and I can see that it just does not match. She sticks out like a thorn to me anyway, because I look at pictures all day long. But so essentially what we're going to do is we're going to go back to this layer here. We're going to go to our adjustments. Let me see if it's there we go. That's what I wanted to do. So we're going to go back. We're going to cancel this one. We're going to delete that layer. Yes. And also, when we're working in this too, we want it only to affect the foreground, which is her. So we're going to click on this little thing right here. That way only she's going to change. So we have orange, which is the warming, and then we just kind of make her a little warmer. And the best way to do this, I always, even my son, I tell him, you want to overdo it so that way you can come back to get to the right spot. And there you go. Now I like that. She matches a little bit more in there. And then we are also going to add one more adjustment layer. And we're going to adjust our contrast too. So we can bring our brightness down just a tad. Same thing here, just on that same layer of her. And we're going to bring our contrast up. Right there. Just like so. And the great thing about these is you can always go back. So now that I increase my contrast, I can see that I can come off of my warmth a little bit. So I'm going to go back to my warmth and bring this down a little bit. Just like that. I think I like that. Let's keep it at 40. I like that. There we go. That looks a lot more natural. It's a beautiful looking picture. And that's it, guys. That picture took me, what, I don't know, about 10 minutes maybe to do, which is not bad. It's a request, and I'm happy to do it. And it doesn't take very long. So this is something you can charge extra for if you'd like to. You can do this for clients who maybe just want that, even if they didn't shoot sessions with you. They might like a picture and that somebody shot for them, and they might pay you to edit it. Who knows? It's a good way to make money. I do this for friends. If they ask for it, I'll do it. Usually if it's just one picture, I'm okay with it. It's when they come back with, I need 5 pictures, double chin removed, I need my ears pulled back, or I need my ears made smaller, stuff like that. That's what I would definitely charge for. But something like this is a mom's special request. So I'm more than happy to do it. For one picture is not bad. I don't mind doing it. So that's it, guys, for today. I just want to start sharing more of what of the work that I'm doing and when I'm doing it, and just kind of posting it here. If you get any value out of it, please let me know. Give me a thumbs up. I really greatly appreciate that. That really helps the YouTube channel. If you could do that for me, give me a thumbs up. And if you don't mind just leaving me a message, either way, oh man, your video is awesome. Oh great, I learned something new. Or oh man, your video really either way, all comments are welcome. I would greatly appreciate any comments, because that just lets YouTube know that there's some interaction and some kind of interest, whether it's good or bad. They want to know about it or hear about it. So with that, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and cut this off. I'm gonna do a quick save on this. We're gonna save this, and we're gonna go ahead and save it. I like to save it as a Photoshop, and then also save it as, well, we gotta let it finish. Okay, it's done. No? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm on the other screen. I hate when my menu gets thrown off onto my main computer screen. So now we're gonna save as, and we're gonna save this as a JPEG so that we can send this to her. Yep, that's it. So we're just gonna go ahead and hit save. Oh no, we don't want to replace it. Yeah, you don't want to replace it. So all I'm gonna do is just add a -1 here. _1. There we go. So we have a differential. And that is it, guys. The picture is saved out as a JPEG. It's ready to be delivered. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. It's photography. It's never perfect. So again, guys, thanks for watching this. If you watched this all the way to the end, great. I appreciate you. But we'll catch you next time, okay? This has been the Camera64 podcast, and I am your host, as always, Alfonso Chavez. So till next time, start taking a bunch of bad pictures so you can start getting to the good pictures. Take care. Bye-bye.